So we're joined here with Natasha today to go through some interview questions. We're going to sort of interview her about her time during the recruitment process. Natasha, you're fairly new, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I've been with Nexxus since the end of November.
End of November, yeah. So just a few questions and just want to go through just to let everyone else aware of sort of how our recruitment process works and how it goes for everyone. So how did you find the vacancy, Tash?
I was looking through Indeed and I saw the vacancy. I read through the advert and it was exactly what I was looking for, so I actually applied straight away. There was a lot of information on the advert as well, so that's what pushed me to apply for it.
And how long did it take sort of until you heard that initial response from a recruitment?
So Louise actually called me within about 10 minutes of me applying for the role, so that was really quick. And it was actually really good, to be honest. I liked that I had a quick response because it meant I wasn't waiting too long to find out whether or not I was going to actually be contacted. She gave me loads of information and answered all the questions that I had. She let me know that Stacey worked for Nexxus Care, who I used to previously work with.
Yeah.
And then Stacey actually called me a little bit later on that day just to go through a little bit more about the role with me as well.
Oh, okay, bro. So how did you find us sort of welcoming when you had that first call?
Yeah, definitely. So Louise it was very laid back. It wasn't like I was under pressure to sort of perform or answer any questions and things like that. It was more just to get to know me a little bit. So that was quite nice and it was quite relaxed.
So how long was it until you sort of got that interview? How did it just that initial call and then you had your interview booked in straight away?
So I spoke with Louise, I spoke to Stacey, and then I think it was probably the next day that Stacey had said that I'd been invited for an interview, and the interview was booked in for 2 days after that, so it was quite a quick process.
Bro, and how did that interview go? Did everything go well?
Yeah, the interview went really well. Stacey and Louise interviewed me. They made me feel really comfortable. They told me everything about the company, so I knew exactly what I was applying for. They were very open and honest about the role, so they went through the challenges as well as the benefits.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's completely lived up to what they were telling me about. So during the interview process, I felt very relaxed. It was very friendly and it was very casual. It was more like a conversation.
And how sort of would you rate the interview? So with the questions, would you say they were hard or would you say it was sort of easy?
I would say it was a little bit in between. It wasn't hard, it wasn't easy. It was definitely unexpected because I assumed it was going to be like most interviews where it was a lot of, pressure or you feel a little bit nervous, but I felt very relaxed. And I literally felt like I was just answering with my own knowledge and my own personal experiences, and I didn't feel like I was having to, perform really, and it felt really nice.
Brilliant, and that's great. And how long did sort of after you had your interview, obviously you probably had calls in between there and then. I wasn't part of your compliance, I think it was all Stacey. So how did you sort of find the compliance process? How was your onboarding and how did that sort of go?
So my notice period was 4 weeks. So Stacey kept me up to date during the 4 weeks of where my compliance was up to. It was completed way before my start date, but she kept me updated with my references and the DBS check and everything else. She answered any questions that I had during that time as well. And whenever I sent her a message or email or whatever, she came back to me really quickly, so I didn't have to wait around too long.
Bro, and did you have sort of any issues during the compliance? Was there anything that sort of stood out and you were like, oh God, what's going on here?
So I had a bit of a blonde moment with my DBS. To be honest with you, I should have known what I was doing, but I had a little bit of a moment where I was struggling to do my address history and the dates and everything for my DBS.
Right.
So I called Stacey 5 minutes before a shift ended, and she was more than happy to stay back and, help me through, talk me through what to do and everything like that. In the end, we figured it out, and I realised that I just put the dates in wrong, but she was more than happy to go through it, and it wasn't too much trouble for her. I didn't have any issues with references other than just to give them a little bit of a chase during that process. But other than that, no, it was a really smooth process.
So how are you finding it now you've started? How are you finding it being a recruiter at Nexxus Care?
I'm really enjoying the role, and I'm enjoying working for Nexxus Care. It's rewarding because we get to help people, help others, I guess. So we get to
Yeah,
help people through the recruitment process, and then they get to help vulnerable people in the community. So I think that that for me is very rewarding. I'm enjoying getting to know the team, speaking with everyone who works with us, and getting to know the candidates along the way as well, and helping them through the process and answering their queries. And ultimately, I think for us, it's rewarding helping people get a job through this sort of time as well with
yeah,
COVID and
definitely.
everything.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who are struggling to find work or find something that they really want to do.
Yeah, and it's good that we're there to help them people as well, and obviously put them on that career path of going into care. 'Cause like
Yeah.
you said, it is a really rewarding job role to be in, and you're just a recruiter. I mean, can you imagine what it's like being out in the field?
Yeah, I bet it's amazing because obviously for people who've never done care before, they may think it's a bit of a risk. And then when they come into it and find that it's really fulfilling and rewarding, I think that's
Mm.
the best type of role that you can do.
So, do you sort of feel welcomed by the team now you've started?
Absolutely. I feel like I've been part of the team for ages. I don't feel like I'm new, especially working from home as well. It's quite difficult, isn't it, to gel with the team, especially being new, but I don't feel like there's been any struggles with that. I feel like I've been part of the team for ages and everyone's really friendly and welcoming. And, I feel like Nexus is somewhere I want to stay long term. It's something that I want to, really get invested in, and that's really good.
So, would you sort of recommend Nexus Care to any of your friends at all?
Absolutely, 100%. I know that there's a few of my friends and family who work in care, and 100% I would recommend Nexus Care.
Brilliant, that's absolutely great. Well, thanks, Natasha, for joining us today. Hopefully, we can get you in the future, maybe when you're a year down the line, see what your thoughts are then. But
Yeah,
thanks for joining us, and I can't wait to hear from you later on.
brilliant. Thanks.
Well, thank you.